Video game controllers. Over the course of history they have been designed to favour and carry out the inputs of ever-demanding software, from the humble beginnings of a one-stick, one-button configuration to the gold standard of the modern era. Then sometimes controllers are born out of necessity, controllers that come out in between generations of hardware to fill a vital role in control that the original accessory could not facilitate. The optional controller SLEH 0003, otherwise known as the Negcon by Namco. To tell the story of this controller we need to go back to the year 1993, where it all started with an arcade machine. This is SLEH. It is a two-player 3D third-person shooter vehicle combat arcade video game released by Namco in 1993. Work soon began on a console version of SLEH for the Sony PlayStation, intended to be an overall improvement on the arcade game with new textures and more characters to choose from. This became a problem for Namco as they didn't want to compromise on control. The original SLEH arcade cabinet featured dual lever controls, allowing the player to strafe left and right while pivoting 360 degrees on the spot. This is the control method Namco wanted to emulate for the home version of SLEH. In a time in between the non-analog original Sony controller and the analog revision in 1997, the Negcon served to plug the gap and offer early adopters a true analog alternative to the bog standard D-pad. The Negcon itself consists of two standard buttons labelled B and A, the gas and brake analog buttons 1 and 2 that are long and deep set into the controller, two very spongy analog R1 and L1 buttons at the top, a start button that doubles up as X, a standard D-pad, and of course the main event, the swivel joint in the middle of the pad that lets you twist it left and right, gripped in both hands. SLEH faded into the background, overshadowed by more impressive PlayStation titles. The Negcon, however, would have a much more prolonged legacy, and it was brought to the foreground, championed by Namco's very own Ridge Racer series. Was the Negcon the next best thing to a full steering wheel, or just a strange novelty of its time? Let's see if this pad holds up, and I'll try it out on some of the Ridge Racer titles I own. First up is Ridge Racer Revolution. To my surprise, I don't actually own a copy of Ridge Racer 1, and for this game it's a bust. I don't know if it's the controller or the game, but I keep veering to the left. It seems like there's some other underlying issue here, so I just moved on to the next Ridge Racer. On to Ridge Racer. Alright, this is more like it. The pad worked great with this game. It seemed responsive and it really felt like I could do quite well with an Negcon on this game, if it weren't for the fact that Ridge Racer is like the hardest game in the world ever. So one last Ridge Racer to try on PlayStation, Ridge Racer Type 4. Quick side note if you didn't know, the PAL version of Ridge Racer 4 still has the Pocket Station functionality on the disc. I downloaded it to my Pocket Station. I haven't a clue what it does. I just did it because what else are you going to do with a Pocket Station in PAL regions, well apart from play Chocobo Wild. Right then, back to the Negcon and Ridge Racer Type 4. This is totally the game to use with the Negcon. I played this game a lot back in the day with a standard DualShock controller and always did okayish at the game. With the Negcon the drifting is so much easier to pull off. Taking corners at speed with the pad seems way less brake intensive. The twist motion soon becomes second nature. What was a great arcade racing game anyways is now a unique experience that comes highly recommended with this pad. Even if you like your racing games a little deeper, the Negcon is fully compatible with both Gran Turismo 1 and 2. Both games play great with the Negcon. The sensitivity does feel a little higher than on Ridge Racer Type 4 for example, but after adjusting to the slight change in playstyle, it does work great. The PlayStation 2 had a handful of games that supported the Negcon too. I only own Wipeout Fusion off that list. Ridge Racer 5 is supported though, and I imagine that works a damn sight better than this ever did. Speaking of compatibility, one thing you can use this controller for is on games that supported a different alternate controller by Namco. This is the volume controller by Namco. That is the same controller that got rebranded as the Poochie Carrot controller in the UK. So that's why I can use the Negcon on Poochie Carrot, because the mechanisms used in the volume controller is very similar to the Negcon's twist action. The Negcon nowadays can be used on lots of different systems. If you can manage to find yourself an X connection adapter for the original Xbox. This adapter was intended to let you use PlayStation controllers on Xbox, but now it can be used in various different combinations with other controller converters to give them instant support for the Negcon, even if the game does not support it, on various different consoles across the board. The Negcon sells for around £15 on eBay. They do turn up in the wild. I have seen them in cash converters for as little as £5 if you're lucky. If you're a fan of Namco, Ridge Racer, or just dicking about with controllers in general, this pad is a great purchase. Thanks for watching, and farewell.